Good morning. Today is day 4 of our self-love intensive, and we've covered a wide range of topics, a lot to cover in just a few days, but you can revisit these videos and do it over and over again until you make them part of your everyday, because they are practices that will really change your life. So today, we're talking about love, obviously, but love is a high frequency. Love is on the consciousness scale, which starts at about 30 in depression, all the way up to well over 800 for enlightenment. Love is over 500, so it's a really high frequency, and it is what creation was made from. So everything is everything is made from a level of love. 30 and depression has very little love in it. Pure love is 500 and over. There's no limits in infinity. So, anywhere over 500 is love. It just gets purer and purer. And when you connect with your inner being, you feel those very high levels of what that love is. And in the human body, it's very hard to translate into words because it's a sensation that goes beyond our mind's understanding. But in saying all of that, whenever we bring love to any situation, to any thought, to any action, to any emotion, we change that frequency of it. You can imagine if somebody is in depression, their consciousness level is around 30, and they're offered love. They open their heart, they accept love, and suddenly, you've got this frequency of 500 and over, and they're soaking it up, and their frequency starts to lift, and that's how they start to feel better. Now, we don't need to rely on somebody else outside of us to lift our frequency, and that is why self-love is so important, why it's so powerful. When we give ourselves love, we're actually raising our frequency, and we're aligning our human self with our non-physical self, with our inner being, and we're creating alignment. So another really simple way to give ourselves love is Ho'oponopono. Now, Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian practice, very well spoken about. Joe Vitale talks about it a lot, but it's 4 simple phrases. It's I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And when you say those 4 phrases over and over like a chant, you're actually releasing resistance, giving appreciation, and giving love. And it's changing the energy around you. Now, it doesn't need to be directed at yourself or at another, but it heals. It heals relationships. It helps to lift the frequencies of other people. It helps to change situations. It's a really powerful prayer. And I've actually, recorded that in my voice memos in my phone. And I can play that anytime I want. And I can actually put it on replay on my phone and have the volume turned almost off. And those frequencies are being emanated around me all the time. Now, if you're in a hospital or in a doctor's surgery or somewhere where the mood is, not very enjoyable, you can play these frequencies and really soak them up and change your world. So, following your heart, that's really important. You know, following our joy, following what gives us pleasure, our desires. Our desires are something that are given to us so that when we follow them, we become whole. Our desires are not just so that we can get the stuff. Our desires are making us more whole in the process of following them. And that's why desires must be made manifest. We're not given our desires to ignore them. You know, it's not an ego trip to have a desire. It's a soul. You know, anything that feels good comes from our heart, comes from our soul. So if you've got unlived desires, please do something about bringing them to life. It's so important. Don't ignore them. You know, a lot of people think, oh, it's just a whimsical dream. No, if you've had a desire, it's a message from your soul. Ask, what can I do today to bring me closer to my desire? You know, if it's to travel somewhere, go and buy a luggage tag or something, and when you buy it with intent. This is to put on my bags when I go to XYZ. You know, be deliberate and play with it. Have fun. You know, life is about having fun. It's about, you know, really enjoying ourselves. Everything we want because, you know, we believe in having it. We're going to feel better. So we've got to choose to feel better now. And that's what self-love is. It's about choosing to feel good. It's about empowering ourselves to follow our heart, to follow our desires, to make our dreams come true. It's about celebrating the self. How long is it since you celebrated yourself? How long is it since you did something that was a loving act to you? And it might be just, you know, stalling in the housework and spending half an hour with a hot cup of coffee out in the sun, or sitting with your favourite book, or, you know, putting on some nail polish. It might be going out to meet a friend for coffee. It might be taking a walk through the forest. It might be, you know, just getting out of the house. I know, you know, sometimes in my life when things were really stressful, I would just get in my car and I would go for a drive out in the bush. And once in my car, I would just scream goggle-de-bock, like no real sensical words. I would just open my mouth and let all those horrible emotions, all those low vibrations out of my body by screaming them into the abyss. You know, it felt so good. But whatever it is, you know, do something for you. It might be taking a hot bath. It might be going out and getting your hair done or having a facial. It might be having a massage. It might be a weekend away. You know, do what turns you on. Because when you do something for yourself with intent, you're really saying, congratulations, girl. You know, you deserve this. You're worthy. You're loved. It's an act of self-love. And, you know, we have to remember to celebrate ourselves. We do so much for so many other people, as women in particular, that most of us don't think about ourselves very much at all. So ask your heart, what does it want? You know, it doesn't have to be anything big and anything expensive. So I'm going to leave you with that today. What does your heart want? And remember, Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. All forms of love. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.